Deb here from Deb's Greenhouse.
And Michael here from Haiku Greenhouses.
Hi,
Hello,
guys.
everybody. A little different format today, right?
Yeah, so today we are on YouTube. I'm just going to adjust the camera a little because I couldn't see the screen before. That looks better.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're on YouTube today, and we might be on YouTube for a while now doing these lives because our Facebook page is paused. And although that's where you normally would find us, I do like YouTube because it kind of catalogs it really easy in a nice library.
Yeah.
And if anyone's listening, can you hear us? We've got the mics on.
We're not sure going live is it will actually be people be able to join like they are in.
I think so. You know, I think I did a live a long time ago.
Okay.
But chat viewing options, we
All
want to.
messages are visible.
Yeah, we want to see all the messages that come in. Okay. So Michael, where?
I've got them behind me.
Michael brought some plants, so we're going to take a look at those.
So we're going to talk about what's happening at Deb's Greenhouse this time of year.
Deb's Greenhouse, it's, in Greenhouse World, it's officially week 10. And
no, it's still week 9. Monday's week 10.
Okay, in my mind, it's week 10.
Yeah, it's week 10.
Tomorrow is the start of week 10 in Greenhouse World. So week 10 for us is a really, really busy week. We are going to be planting hanging baskets like crazy. So week 10 is a kickoff for planting hanging baskets. And my son and I have been pre-filling pots, putting them on the benches in the greenhouse, and it's everything's frozen outside. So we have to bring in our soil bales, let them thaw for a couple of days. So there's like a lot of steps to make sure that when you're ready to plant, everything is ready to go.
Yeah, and you should do the same. If you have soil in your garage from another year, or you bought some that was stored outside, please warm it up before you do any seeding or planting or anything like that.
Actually, I would, it's probably dry as well. I would water it and maybe just put a plastic sheet over top of the container you've got it in. Or sometimes we will just cut the plastic bag and put some water in it if we notice it's particularly dry. Yeah.
Now, dry means not. Wet means not that it's mud. Wet means that if you take a handful of soil and you squeeze it in your hand and you open it back up, that a few cracks show up in the ball of peat moss that's in the palm of your hand. If it's too dry, it'll just crumble and fall between your fingers. If it's too wet, it stays together as a clump.
Yeah.
So it's and that magic, the unscientific magic thing in between.
If it's dry, it'll be really dusty too when you're handling it. Yeah. And that's uncomfortable. Like we wear dust masks when we're filling pots because it can get kind of dusty.
Yeah, it is.
So
you're doing seeds?
We're doing all kinds of seeds. So we are preparing seeding. So we've already seeded chives, peppers. We've got a whole bunch of flowers we're going to seed for some early planters, and lots of seeding this week. We're going to show you all the seeding we're doing as we're doing it. And what?
You're going to do that on YouTube as well?
Probably YouTube, TikTok as well. So if you follow me, there's lots of ways you can follow us. TikTok, Pinterest, our website has updates, debsgreenhouse.com, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, and Facebook and Instagram are down right now because we're under review. And that should be back hopefully shortly. We just don't have a timeline on that.
So what goes in those planters and hanging basket that Debbie and her son are filling, and so of our customers? Haiku Greenhouses is a supply company greenhouse to other commercial greenhouses.
Right.
So we have customers like Deb's, and we have many customers some customers that even watch us during the live garden show. So
all over Western Canada, Haiku supplies baby plants too.
Yeah, that's correct. So those baskets that are being filled, what goes in them?
For starters, we fill them with fluffy peat moss. So we have a soil machine that takes those compressed bales. We have those really heavy compressed 3.8 cubic foot bales of peat moss potty mix, and it gets churned up and it's really fluffy, and we fill our pots with that. prior to planting, depending on what's going in it, we'll add slow release fertilizer. We do that by combo because some varieties need more, some need less. And then the plants.
Then the plants. So we sell plants to commercial greenhouses in strips in quantities of 50. So as you can see here, there is, believe it or not, there's 51 cells here.
51 plants, yeah.
51 plants, 51 cells. And we do both plants from seed as well as from cuttings.
Yeah.
And all the cuttings that we grow for commercial greenhouses arrive as a cutting without roots from South American countries.
Right, so when you get this to root it,
yes,
it has no roots on it. It's just been snipped off of a mother plant.
Correct. Yeah, correct. So these plants grow in these large farms in South America and African countries.
You can see the roots here.
Yeah, and we stick that into a soil-filled sock called an Elipot.
Yeah.
And there's many different ways that you can do this at home.
Yeah.
Elipots are mostly commercially available, but Jiffy pellets or loose fill, whatever you have.
I think a lot of people at home would root. This is coleus, for instance, coleus and houseplants in water.
In water,
yeah,
that's right.
But in a commercial greenhouse, we would too when we're rooting things. We put it directly into soil, and we're misting it a lot.
That's right. So the plant has in the sun, in the greenhouse, under lights, with both heat and moisture, because roots to absorb. There's
how
no
beautiful
roots.
Those are.
Yeah.
They're gorgeous.
Yeah. There is no way to absorb water through the roots. So what we do is we mist the top of the plants, and we have a thin film of water that stays on the leaves, and that you can do that at home as well. If you were rooting things in soil, you could use something like this that we have.
This is just a handheld sprayer I picked up at Princess Auto. We talked about this one before, and so you can pump it. And then it just gives a nice mist, and there's nothing in this, and you can just adjust the weight of the spray by turning this little nozzle.
And that is just to keep the foliage cool and to keep the plant from absorbing water through that stem without roots. And then in this particular case, this was stuck 2 weeks ago, so 14 days. It had no roots, and now it does.
Yeah, they're beautiful.
Yeah.
They're like ready to go.
Yeah.
What variety is that exactly?
This is lime wire.
Coleus lime wire? Okay.
So
it's a coleus, and that's a variety that can go in full sun or can grow in shade.
That's right. I brought another one.
Yes.
I brought another petunia. See?
It's so pretty.
Yeah, again, 51.
Is this heavenly blue?
This is heavenly blue.
Yeah.
No, this is actually surprise.
Oh, it's got the same color.
Yes.
That really pretty lavender.
Yeah.
I thought it was heavenly blue, but heavenly blue has a bigger flower.
Heavenly blue has a bigger flower, and the plant itself is more vigorous. So within the varieties of petunias.
So we'll just show.
Okay.
Let's show one of these. They're so pretty. Look at that. So petunias blooming already, and it's only the beginning of March.
Yeah. Do I dare say that we would remove that flower?
Don't say it. No, we're not going to pinch this right now. But as a grower, we would take that flower off to support more root growth at this stage because it's quite early.
Yeah, and have the energy going into the foliage rather than into the flower. So see, this is so the petunias come in many different styles. I am almost sure you've all heard of wave petunias. Wave petunias are a seeded type of petunia that spread tremendously. And there is a difference between some of the different waves petunias. There is a different series. So if you buy the wave petunia, often it's recognizable by having it in a pink pot. Often it is accompanied with a beautiful tag that says Wave. It's a very highly recognized brand, the Wave petunias.
I remember when they first came out.
Yeah.
And there was a commercial, and the commercial had pink waves going across the screen, and it said, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, wave petunia." Do you remember?
No.
It was like over 25 years ago. It was a big deal.
It was a big deal.
That plant had a TV commercial.
Wow.
Like I don't think I've seen a plant on a specific plant brand on a TV commercial since really.
Well, I mean, we all rely on social media a lot more.
That's true.
Including the plant companies. So,
so of the wave series, let's talk about
yes,
those.
the wave series come in different styles. So
let's talk about smallest to largest. Okay.
Okay, so the smallest of the wave petunias is called the shockwave.
Yeah,
So
shockwave.
it's more of a compact mounding kind of petunia. It's by no means small, but it is more compact, the most compact of all the wave series.
They do have a smaller flower.
They do.
And they grow really, really tight, like a large calibrachoa.
Yeah.
Like they have a really beautiful shape, but they're not as vigorous of a petunia plant. Like a hanging basket, it would cover the whole pot by the end of summer, but it's not going to be 2 feet long.
No, and it's not going to hang over the side. It's going to stay in an upright ball form.
It might go over the side a little bit.
Yeah, but more out rather than down.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. So, but beautiful color ranges.
Yeah, and it can be used in a flower bed as well.
Yeah.
You know, so not so much as a border, but just one row in as a filler. So you would have something like lobelia or alyssum, something on the side that also likes sun.
On the edges, then fill in with shockwave.
That's right.
I did shockwave denim in my window boxes on the west side of my house last year. And they didn't spill over the edge, but they were just this beautiful color in the window box the whole summer. I really liked that.
Well, and the advantage
I liked how tidy it was. It's a very tidy.
It's a tidy plant.
It's a tidy petunia.
Yes, and the advantage of all wave petunias is that it doesn't require a lot of deadheading.
You know what? I never deadhead them, and I really feel that as long as you keep up on fertilizing them, they just keep blooming continuously. Yeah. If you have a few days of rain, you're going to have they're going to take a day of sun to bounce back or so. But.
True enough, but they do bounce back quickly.
Yeah.
So we talked about deadheading. Let's just sidetrack here for a little bit. Deadheading.
Let's show them on those petunias.
So deadheading means that when the flower is done, and there's none of them here that are done, but so this would be a flower bud that's going to open.
Well, let's just show on a bloom.
Okay, on a bloom. So on a bloom that is almost
a little bit closer.
Okay, on a bloom that is almost finished or completely finished, it'll shrivel back up, and then there will be this brown thing that's left. So and then you reach down and you go below the stem. Below the flower, and you also remove those tiny little green leaves in the case of petunia.
Yeah, so we need to remove this part of the flower because inside of here, inside that little stem, you can see a little point in the middle. That is where the seed head would grow. And we want to remove it because when petunia or many other flowers grow enough seed pods, they will reduce the amount of flowering they put out.
Yeah, they
their
think
job is done.
That's right. My job is done. I've produced seed for the next generation.
Yeah.
It's time to go to bed. But if you remove that, you're increasing more flowers, and you're increasing the amount of flowers as well.
But the alternative is if it's a plant that doesn't quite have to have deadheading, but you're fertilizing a lot, you'll still get that flower power to last through the summertime.
That's right. And then there's the term self-cleaning. Self-cleaning, we'll be talking about this later in later shows when it
let's stick to waves. So so we started talking about shockwaves. So they're the tidiest of the wave petunias.
Yeah, then the next size up is easy wave.
Easy wave.
And it is the one with the largest amount of color selection, the easy wave. And it is an oversized shockwave. So the flowers are bigger and the plant itself is bigger, and
quite large.
Yeah, and it will, hang over. It's not a trailer; it's more like a faller, So eventually gravity will take over, and it'll just fall.
And it's like I would say it would easily grow a foot below your hanging basket.
It will. Yeah. So that is
lots
the easy wave.
Lots of color, lots of flower power.
Yeah, and there's striped ones, and there's solid colored ones, and there's mixes. So there's a whole bunch of different options that you have for the easy wave. Then the next size up is the tidal wave, and the tidal.
No, the wave.
Well, wave. Well, okay, it's kind of wave. The regular wave.
The original.
The original.
Hey, I would say the wave is next.
Okay.
Or.
That's fine.
No, but I mean, so shockwave, easy wave, tidal wave.
Tidal wave.
You think so?
Sure.
Or is wave between?
It's 6 of one or half a dozen of the other.
Okay.
Yeah. So it doesn't matter. We're going to get to all of them anyway.
Yeah.
So tidal wave, the name insinuates it. Tidal, like big. So it It is a wave that spreads a bit at the bottom, but mostly grows up, straight up. And it will be, 3 feet tall, no problem with the center stem.
A lot of people ask me for a climbing petunia, and they're referring to the tidal wave petunias, because they do get quite large. They're a humongous landscape plant.
That's right. Yeah, it has to have a big space. It spreads on the ground a little bit, and then there's these massive amounts of stalks that come out.
Really strong stems.
Very thick stalk, yes.
Yeah, and they, so the other types of petunias have a solid color, like bloom, touching bloom, touching bloom. Tidal waves are quite airy, so if you looked through it, you would see green, you would see sky or landscape behind it. It's not solid color. No. Although from a distance, it could appear to be solid color, but if you're up close, you definitely can see through the plant.
Yeah, and from a distance, it would be good because you're seeing the whole thing. The flowers as well as the foliage. So it has quite an impact.
We have a lot of customers that purchase tidal waves to put in, in those beautiful wooden barrels, those half barrels at the ends of their driveway, because they get so massive that even when you're driving by, you can definitely see that pop of color. Yeah, the tidal waves. But they do have a very limited color selection.
They do. They do.
How many colors do they have?
About 4.
Four colors?
Silver, purple. 4 colors.
Purple.
Purple, red, burgundy velour.
No, burgundy and tidal?
Or red velour. There's a velour type in tidal.
Okay, yeah. Maybe there's 5 or 6 colors now. I'm not sure, but
anyway.
some of them kind of look the same. Like I can't tell the hot pink between the
pink
cherry.
And the rose. That's right.
They're very pinky. But there's a silver as well. So not quite a white, but
a little bit of a darker white.
And really brilliant though. Very, very beautiful plants.
It's a very nice plant. And then the original wave that came out 25 years ago
or so.
It's called the wave. It's called the wave, and it comes in a couple of different colors, also limited, pink, purple. Purple wave is probably the one that is still the most popular because it was the original one.
Very fragrant.
Oh, is it?
Yes. Yeah. In all of the types of petunias, the most fragrant of the petunias will be the purple shades. Yeah.
In any series?
Like the Shockwave Denim has a beautiful vanilla scent. Anything that are in those definitely those purple tones.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So the wave is designed to grow fairly flat on the top. If you grow it in a basket, and then straight down, and it might be as much as 3 feet below the bottom of the basket. There's no problem having that length of petunia.
Yeah, there's
and solid flowers.
Yeah, the classic purple wave or the improved purple wave. I've seen it get 5 feet long.
Yeah, it's a very impressive plant.
Just keep fertilizing it.
Yes, and water, because if the plant is big, then it'll require a lot of water too. So put it in some larger containers so that you don't water it twice a day. So.
If you have to water your plants twice a day, even in summer, probably they should be in a bigger pot.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yep. So. Good. So we've covered wave petunias, and we covered some deadheading, and so you're doing seeding, but you also want to talk. I would like you to talk about the Secret Garden Seed Company.
The seeds itself, why don't I go grab one? Because I didn't think about that beforehand. I'll give you my mic.
Okay.
I always do this. I'll be right back.
So Debbie started a company last year called the Secret Garden Seed Company. The website for that is secretgarden.ca. And you would be able to find 40 varieties of traditional seeds that she selected because she likes to. They're all vegetable. Most of them are vegetable seeds, and those are things that she would grow herself when she does a garden.
Okay. I think just a clarification on the website. I think it's secretgardenseeds.ca. Secretgardenseeds.ca. Yeah, it's on the back of the package. I have a few websites, so it's hard to keep track. Okay, so like Michael said, we started the seed company a year ago, and so this is the second year for them. And so all of the covers are hand drawn by my daughter Paige. Very, 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 very pretty, and they were put together by Paige. And we have 2 graphic designers, Amy, who works with us, and my daughter. So that's kind of what the seed packages would look like. this year we wanted to add something even better for our customers. And so we have added matching row marker, like a plant tag here. And so we're trying it 2 different ways this year. We've some of them we've glued on the back, but they also fit inside the package. So this one is in the package, and we just want to see what
works best.
what the reaction is from customers, if they like to see that the tag is there, or if it's better on our end that the tag is in the package and doesn't fall off or something. So we're trying that 2 different ways. Like Michael said, we've got 40 different varieties. There's some flowers and vegetables. Mostly the vegetables are direct plant in your garden. So things like lettuce, beans, peas,
And it's
carrots.
too early to plant some of those, right? Like you wouldn't want people to put peas in their house yet.
No, but you could try 1 little pot of an edible pea, and if you get some early, it's kind of fun. I know we're going to seed some in the greenhouse just so we can eat them earlier. But I mean, it's a perfect environment for them. So.
But most of the seeds can be seeded directly out in the garden.
Yeah, these are mainly meant for direct seeding in the garden. And yeah, so they're so pretty. They're all restocked, and you can take a look at those on our website. All the varieties, secretgardenseeds.ca will take you right there, or go to debsgreenhouse.com and you can find them as well. If you are a garden center and you'd like to wholesale them this year, we're going to do a soft launch on the wholesale. So you could contact me directly for that.
Yeah. So the seeds you're planting, you're filling pots.
Right. So we've been filling seeds like crazy, the packages, filling pots like crazy also, filling orders that come in from our website, filling mostly pots this week is what we're up to. Yeah, we have to fill the containers before we can plant them. Yeah,
that's true. And your plants arrive sooner rather than later.
We've got, I think, Thursday, I have a pickup at your place at High Q, and so we'll be really busy. I'm excited. It's such an exciting time of year.
Yeah. And the cutoff has come and gone for the pre-orders?
Yeah, pre-orders are done now. We're done accepting pre-orders for the season. But
and why do you have the pre-order
early cutoff for pre-orders? Well, it might seem early.
That's what
right. It might seem early because there's still snow on the ground, but once we start planting, we just say, okay, we have to stop accepting orders now. We're planting, we're filling up the greenhouses, and it's a lot of administration that goes behind pre-orders. And we had to pick a system that worked really well for our business.
No, and you do it at a time so that you could still get things planted.
Yeah.
And if you need a few extra, that you could still order them. So that's why. Yeah. So in greenhouse world, we start much earlier than you would think. It is not something that just shows up on the benches on the May long weekend or Mother's Day. I mean, these things are sometimes at our place. We start seeding sometimes in October or November in order to get things ready for March or week 10.
Yeah.
And in order to get something for you to have ready, and keep that in mind yourself. Like we talked about many things that you don't want to seed yet, like corn and maybe peas, unless you want a few for eating yourself. But other than that, there's still plenty of time to be seeding certain things. I mean, you might want to...
Sorry, Scotch is jumping on a plant.
That's the cat, by the way.
Yeah, Scotch is the cat.
And, so you might get you might get eager, but there is still time to plant things like tomatoes and lettuce and things like that in the house. If you want to plant a seedling outside, you don't have to worry about seeding them yet.
Yeah, and another thing about our seed collection in particular is that when I looked at different seed companies that had seeds available for me to sell here at the greenhouse, the growing information didn't match with our region, and I just felt that I was kind of doing a disservice to our customers by having seeds that didn't have the right growing information. So we made sure that our seeds have the correct growing information for our region here, and I think that's just really valuable.
And for people who are far away, you mail them to them, the seeds?
Yeah.
Yeah. So seeds don't really freeze in the
no, they're fine if they freeze.
They put a fine if they're put in Canada Post.
Yeah, we can ship all across Canada, if you'd like. And so that growing information might be a little different if you're coastal. You might be a little warmer than us, or if you're a lot further south than us as well, you get to see those a little earlier.
But you've written this meaning for the prairies.
Yeah, kind of Edmonton North.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
okay.
Edmonton North.
And
for
east,
sure.
you know. So.
And east and west, yeah.
Yeah. So, okay. So, what else can we cover? You know, it's a little different without the questions that keep rolling in. But of course, once we get back up and running, we would encourage you to, text or email questions that we can have, because we love answering questions.
Yes, we sure do. I do get quite a few questions routinely though. So, strawberries. I seeded some strawberries for the first time this year. And they are minuscule coming up. They are. I knew they would be slow, but they are incredibly slow. But it's also really exciting to see, some action happening there. They've got 3 leaves now, and it won't be long before they pop out a 4th leaf. But very tiny. So that's going to take months for them to kind of show themselves, hey?
Yeah. And normally you would buy strawberry root, from a store.
But we have roots coming too.
Yes, but people might not realize that we can also grow strawberries from seed.
Yeah.
And so that's a little bit more, sounds like unconventional, but it does take a long time. But it does work very well. We seed a lot of strawberries at IQ. And because they take so long, for a grower to have a strawberry ready to sell in a pouch or in a hanging basket, they would have to start in like December or January.
Yeah, when did you start seeding strawberries?
We started seeding in December. Right around Christmas time. Yeah. So end of December.
Yeah, I did mine in the new year, I think.
Yeah. So and yours were might have been a little slower coming up than mine. I don't know. So. Yeah.
I don't see any questions. I'm not 100% sure on how to tell if there's been a question.
Well, we can even answer those in our next show.
Absolutely.
And, we can take the questions, answer them then, and hopefully you'll be there to listen to your answer of your question. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Excellent.
Yes.
I think we're done for today. A little shorter than normal, but definitely we'll collect all the questions for the next time.
Yeah. We will.
Okay.
Signing off.
Thanks, guys.
Have a great day.
Bye.
Enjoy the nice weather.